everybody, and welcome back to the Outside Insider here on Philly Sports Network, where we're going to finally get into some Drew Kendall tape. We're back on the rodeo of doing some rookie film reviews. We last took a look at Mac McWilliams, who was a very confusing player. I'm still uncertain about where I stand on him overall in terms of this draft class. Like, it's the weakest player we've looked at so far, and I just struggled to get a read on him as a whole and his strengths and weaknesses. It was genuinely a really interesting watch. If you haven't seen it before, I'd urge anyone to just to familiarize yourself with his game, because I certainly did not have the awareness that I did. If I'd have just read scout reports and I'd have thought, oh, he's a good corner, he's this, he's that, and that would have been it. But to be able to look at the film, to dissect those myself, like, you end up with a very different view. So it's very interesting. What's up, Greg? Nice to see you in the stream. So let's get started then. Let's take a look at some Drew Kendall footage. If I'm able to share screen, which is always a challenge, as you know, because I'm not exactly the most technically gifted person in the world. So we go Boston College OLV. That should come up. Nice. All right. So we do have, where do we start? Missouri. We'll start Missouri. Then we'll go. We got 3 games here. So we should have enough content to get us through. The big takeaway that I've seen from Kendall so far, if we're to go off of just basic scout reports and what we're told about when the Eagles do sign him, or did draft him, sorry, is that slightly undersized center that's very athletic, right? That's the big thing. So number 66 on this offensive line, we're looking for someone that's apparently a little bit undersized, but quite athletic. So we're going to see, I guess, how much the size plays into his overall game, and more importantly, what other strengths does he have? Because I think any offensive line prospect that the Eagles do end up drafting now is immediately met with a sign of unanimous confidence, just because of who they've got coaching them, right? Like, they could put me in that offensive line room, and realistically, within 6 months, I'd probably be a Pro Bowler, because you've got Jeff Stoutland turning you into a god, which just seems to be what he does. So there has to be something that Stout has seen, that this front office has seen, that they want to make the most of. And we're intrigued to see what it is. So it's a number 66, should be your center with a little bit of luck. And we'll see what we can find. So first snap there. Don't really have to do too much. Ends up kind of taking on. We just take a look here. I think it's actually starting at guard. Yeah, so oh no, that's 65. Yeah, 66 is there. Okay, so good first rep. I mean, it's hard with this kind of view. You're not really getting to see too much. I like the willingness there. Again, I wish we had that overhead view, but the pad level's good. The momentum's there. Like, he's not kind of on his back foot or anything. Like, he's able to drive forward. Not as prolifically, let's say, as here, but, you know, that's by the by. Still able to do well. And I think that's my favorite bit of that rep. If we go back one more time, is just when he gets here and the play's dead and the player's down, still driving to the finish and bringing the player down. Just that extra little bit of tenacity, that extra mauling nature, which, you know, will make all the difference at the NFL level. There's no mistake about that. So that's something that you always like to see. You get a much better view of a rep here. Again, very good. I can't stop hitting the wrong button. That's really annoying me. I will watch that camera again. Yeah, you can see how much pressure I guess that's a good representation of the size difference, because he does look very mismatched there against a defensive tackle, and there is a slight leverage win, but the hands, I think, are doing a lot of work. So I'm hoping we get some good camera angles of his hands, because, which I know is a weird thing to say, but I think, like, of his actual hand usage and the way he can just maintain a good pad level, that's going to probably tell us more. Also, it's so hard with college because they move so quick, but that's a better view there. Shoving through. I think this could be someone that, you know, again, we're talking very early here. I mean, that's a really good rep. Because you can see he starts getting walked back, and it's annoying because you can't quite get the angle there because there's a defensive end in the way. But you can see how, like, he's now technically the most forward of any of them, not losing any more leverage, planted really well, and just those hands up and underneath and forcing the defensive lineman pretty much off his feet to try and generate some momentum. Really, really good block. So that's nice. So there is some strength, despite being undersized. There's clearly some really nice upper body strength there. Yeah, wide feet. I mean, that's our first real chance we've got to see the actual footwork of Kendall. Very wide base. And again, despite being undersized, like, I mean, he's not that undersized, I would say. I don't know how overblown that part of the scout report is. It's just he's a little bit, thin. But I think if you look how wide that base is, I don't think it even matters if he's 320 pounds. Like, you're going to struggle to get around that just because you're so wide. Like, it doesn't really matter how big or small you are. If you've got a base that thick and a lower body that powerful, then okay, I say that. He's just given up one there. We'll watch that one back. We'll quickly look at your comments so far as well. Are we sure he's in the game 66? Yeah. He's number 66. Split second, I thought you were on a Chiefs jersey. No. Charlton Athletic, I'm afraid. Still reminiscing about the playoff win. So that's the that's the motive for today. But so he has walked back a little bit there. I'm wondering if that's maybe a missed assignment by someone else. He's just being flat out ball rushed off his feet there, I think. We'll do it again. I think the difficulty is... I mean, okay, realistically, I take it back. Am I mad in saying that's a penalty? Should that not be a face mask? Can we zoom in? That's going backwards. Need to go this way. Is that not a penalty there, guys? Are we not? All right, yeah. I'm willing to appease that one. I think that could have been a penalty. But I think if you can be a big, powerful defensive lineman and you get low, he's going to be easy to push up underneath. I think what he's doing really well, at least in the early goes, is keeping his hands low to stop that. Like, if you watch this rep here, right, just within the first second, look how low the hands are. Like, you're not waiting for impact. You're engaging early and getting low to drive the defensive lineman up, because you know if he gets low, like, the low man wins, right? That's football 101. That's been, a commonality for years. But when he's not, I mean, that was a much better rep. You can see he's just, put someone very, very handedly there, out the way, shoves him back into the tackle, very light on his feet. But it's just that hand. I really like that. I think that's a really good rep for him. And it just drives a little bit. So I'm weirdly getting, and I know it's a big, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a wrong comparison to make, but you'll get what I'm saying with it. Do you remember when the Eagles put Halapoulivaati Vaitai at tackle and he struggled instantly? Like that, those first few games were quite rough, and all of a sudden he found it, and you realise that it's because you've got so much help from the interior, right? Because you've got Pro Bowl level guards next to you. I think this could be a similar thing, that right now, on his own in ISO matchups, he could be vulnerable at the NFL level. But if you've got someone that, for instance, now, like even on here, look, straight up field into that chip block to lay him down, to open the hole up, got there pretty quick. Like, he kind of bursts through that to take on that blocker. That sort of thing's really valuable. Where he's weak, he's going to be those pass rushing matchups. I think run blocking, he seems to be pretty good. Against the pass is where he's going to struggle. But if you've got a really strong... I'll tell you what, I don't know who that is. That was a tremendous catch. Look at that. Who is that? Okay, I don't know, but we're going to watch another game, and I hope I fall in love with him, because he's a saucy man. Like that, there's a good rep. But I think if you give him help, like, he's constantly readjusting his hands. And you see this a lot, I think, with undersized linemen, is they are often more technically proficient, just because they have to be. Like, they can't rely on their size or their power all throughout their young career. Like, they have to be, either uber athletic or uber technical to even have half a chance. And you're seeing that. Like, when he gets up and under, look how often he's going to reset these hands. So there's one. See, the outside arm comes back under. Then the other arm moves round. And from that point, that's just a dead matchup now. Like, no one's winning that. You've done your job, and the ball can be sailed out, and it's a touchdown. Didn't know that was coming, but alas. Nice to see you, Duck. How are you doing, sir? He used to go to the Jason Kelsey sandwich seminar because he needs more bread in his back pocket. Nice to see you, Duck. Just taking a look at some Drew Kendall tape at the moment, and so far so good. It's okay. I think I can see where people are a bit concerned. But when you get reps like that, where he can just hold his own, you know, he's walked back and he fights his way back into the matchup. Again, kind of absorbs another almost punch to the face there, but because he can't get his hands under and he's readjusting with one, and then the guy gets annoyed a bit, I think. But, you know, good rep. He's just technically quick, I think, with his hands. Moves to the second level very nicely there. That was nice. Just watch that again. Immediately shoves off one into two. Yeah, very nice. Oh, thank God we get another view of it. So as a reach blocker, I like that. That was really well constructed. So you can see where, you know, these two linebackers are just going to be essentially washed out of the play. Really good stuff. I want to keep an eye on number 6. Like what I'm seeing. I got confused. I saw 65 pulling and I thought it was 66, but it wasn't. Maintains. So yeah, run blocking. He seems to be okay. See, that was really good there. Right. Again, you've got like a weak counter to the right-hand side. And just look how much leverage he gains. He's able to drive people upfield. It's just whether or not I think at the NFL level he's going to maybe be burdened by some of that. I think Stout and how he decided to back up the C position is over. They want someone C and then other. Yeah, I think that kind of they've got to find someone to hang their hat on, especially now. Like you've got Jurgens. Like you need to find just a guy to develop behind him. You know, like you can't just keep trying to bring guys in and develop them and then it not panning out. I think the Eagles have got such a good offensive front at the minute where, you know, Dickerson's a Pro Bowler, Mailata's incredible, Johnson's incredible. You know, you go on the other side of the line, Tyler Steen's a bit of a question mark. And then you've got Jurgens who, you know, I think has really come on leaps and bounds already, had some big boots to fill. You're going to need someone to develop in case of an injury. And I trust Jeff Stoutland to do that. Like on a play action, that was really nice. But again, you're backed up there by you've got 4 Boston College players against 2 Missouri players. Like you'd expect them to win that. So I think at the minute it's going to be, especially as a rookie, like if he is thrown into a game situation, which I'd like to think won't happen, you're going to need that support structure around him and to make sure that the interior guards are able to help him on double teams and stuff. Like that was a good rep there. I'm intrigued to see him against a better defense. Because obviously I'm not, you know, nothing against Missouri, but if we're going to put him against Florida State or someone, I think that might be a bigger test of what he can do. Nice interception there. Go on, number 6. Be my favourite player. He is. I like that. Who is this number 6 fella? Right, we're going to do a film room on him next draft whenever he's coming out. Make a note of his name, whoever he is. I like him. He's got that Liam trait, and I don't know what it is. Here he goes again. Who is it? I'm Googling it. I'm sorry, I've got to Google it. I need to know who he is. Number 6 is... Oh, no. All right, it's Jonathan Montag Jr. He's a sophomore. So, could be coming out soon. Think about it. So we're going... I don't know if it was his sophomore year last year or this year, but he's done it again. Montag or Montague, I don't know, but he's in. Either way. That's good. Anyway, back to number 66. Rock back. Oh, my back is just snapped in half watching that. He is being pushed and shoved around there and somehow getting away with it. Pass blocking's average, but he's got the height but not the arm length. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't think height he's missing out on much, but I think the hands are good. He's done it again, this Montague fella. Hang on, I just missed that. Telling you, this guy, first round. Maybe not first round, maybe like 4th round, but he's good. Not that good. Let's not throw a ball up to the stars, you know? Anyway, 66 reaching out. Yeah, I think we just need to see a little bit more. I'm kind of done with this game. I think we need to see another one. Because we're not really able to get much from this. I don't know where that was going as a throw. We need to see him against... I'm not sure if he was at the Senior Bowl or not, but if there are reps there, they were probably quite telling as well. Like, that's good. That was really good. Up into that... I mean, yes, he got help, but that's the sort of thing where the Eagles, as a zone blocking team, can help him with, right? Look how he's engaged. The defensive lineman is now at basically a 90-degree angle. Then he gets a push from 65, and then that opens a hole. Unfortunately, it ends in a sack from the other end of the line, but, beggars can't really be choosers here. And I think he's... Go on, Monty. This guy is going to be good. I can feel it. It's happening again. The John Hightower, the Ineos Smith curse. I don't know who he is. Montague. Romeo Montague. I want you, not in that way, but I want you to be drafted by the Eagles in a couple of years. So you keep playing like that, please. I'm going to have a special interest in you. Oh, hello. That was nice. Finally, a little bit of a pancake there for our boy Drew Kendall. Oh, that's a bit more like it. Bit of tenacity. Does start getting walked back. That's the concern. Pass protection is absolutely the concern. But hand usage, look, defeats us mid-swim move, is able to take someone down. That is poetry. Like, that's really good. So, it's there. I just think he might be limited by size. This is going to be a great angle of this. Oh, yeah. All right. The baited, look at the... But the thing is, realistically, he ends up in this position literally every play in pass protection. That's my concern. You say he's not a bender. I mean, Greg, he is literally looking like Neo from the Matrix during this rep. So I know that's a very different type of bend, but he can bend. Anyway, on a serious note, Greg says, according to NFL analysts, he's not a bender, so I expect him to have trouble dealing with A-gap pluggers and longer ball rushes who can roll him into the pocket. I think, honestly, just ball rushes at the minute are a concern if he ends up in that position every play. But then if he can do that, I mean, he's got the dog in him, which is at least something. I think it's not the other way around where he's got the size and doesn't know what to do with it. He's kind of got the opposite issue. But yeah, an intriguing first game. I'll put it this way, right? His strengths and weaknesses are far clearer now than what we saw of Mac McWilliams, sorry, I should say. This time last week or whenever we did it. That was a bit slow, that. Is that slow, or is Jason Kelce just a freak of nature and we've been used to watching him and Cam Jurgens make it look normal? That was better. But again, double team help. I don't really know what we're expecting there. You should be winning that rep. Oh, right. I'm amazed he got back up after that so quick. I mean, fair enough to get back up and try. But he just got absolutely mollywopped. I'll watch this again. Look, by a blitzer. I mean, yeah, that's nothing he could do there. I think that's going to be an issue. If you can send a free rusher onto him somehow, that's the way to beat him. Just because he isn't going to be able to do much about that. So that's a glowing concern. Mac was a weird film room. They didn't seem to be much him on tape. No, I agree. I agree. I don't understand much about what we saw on tape, if I'm honest, Duck. I'm still struggling to comprehend it. I've just never seen a player where I can't say he's good or bad. Normally it's good, bad, average, got some good things in his game, got some weaknesses in his game. He was just a mix of everything. And it made it very, very difficult. So how the Eagles have actually evaluated him, I don't know, because I couldn't do it. So, but then again, that's why they get paid the big bucks, isn't it? And I'm just here yapping about Drew Kendall. So it is what it is. But better. This is another mix. I'm really intrigued to see what he's like against Florida State, which thankfully is now, because I need to see more. Florida State defense 2024. That rhymed. Look at that. Let's go to the shore. Apologies for the adverts. Obviously, I don't set them. Blame YouTube for squandering my stream. And apologies for the drinking ASMR as well. Right. So the fight's there. You can see he gets pushed back there. He's the furthest back of anyone that isn't the running back. And he's able to then lunge back forward, which is it a net positive, I guess, is what I'm trying to work out. All I know is, oh, it's not. He's someone called Sweetie. Skeety. Skeet. He's called Skeet. He's not Montague. He's called Skeet. Right, hang on. Sorry, I've got to interrupt the film room because I need to see when he's coming out. Don't say he's already come out. Jaden Skeet, he's called. And he is a... Oh, he's a junior. Okay. 6'2". That was his sophomore year last year. Only had 189 yards. Is that it? Okay. Well, hopefully he gets some more game time this year because I think he's suddenly the next Larry Fitzgerald, the way I've just been yapping about him. So we'll see. But Skeet is his name. We'll see how dangerous his game is next year. Anyway, now we can actually focus. That was better by Kendall, but was that a double team? The answer is yes. So I'm kind of writing it off. But again, I think that's what the Eagles would have to do. They would have to really leverage their interior guards. And if you've got someone like Landon Dickerson to your left, I mean, you're going to be all right. That was nice footwear. I'll give him that. The way he kind of maintained leverage. I mean, again, he's kind of operate like that's the trick. And if I'm honest, and I might be wrong, my assumption would be Florida State are a better team, and Boston College kind of realised there's a bit of a weakness at centre and are naturally just trying to give him a bit of extra backbone support. You don't have adverts. You don't have commercials on YouTube. That is crazy. I'm moving there in a heartbeat. I can't believe that. That's nuts. I've been living a lie. But yeah, I feel like they're just intrinsically giving him more support because they kind of have to against a much tougher defense. We'll see if that thesis actually pans out. You can start to see it again there that snaps the ball, they're going to pull him, he gets off the chip. But look how many players are sealing that edge. You know, like you've got support everywhere. He's not being told to reach up for the second level on his own at the minute. Again, double team. I think that's the concern, is that against a tougher defense, he's just going to be rocked around too much and walk back too much. Like that rep against the blitzer was scary, like the open free blitzer. That was a better rep there. Looks a bit disjointed, but I think he's been, again, shoved and pulled and bobbled around by just about everyone in both colour jerseys. But nice low hands on that. And he should disappear or just get walked off the block or what? Yeah. Or hang on. I'm trying to work out what actually happened there. So he's mid-block. Oh, he picks up the blitzer and he has help for a running back. So on this rep, he gets a chip. And then he kind of is able to then bounce to the blitzer with also help from the running back. So double help. Played it well, handled the responsibility well. You can't ask him to do more than that. Really intelligent to pick that up and just knock him off course into the running back. It was nice. That was a good rep. Like, the intelligence is good. He's not letting an open blitzer through. We haven't seen that yet. Like, he's been tackled by a blitzer. We've not seen one just fly past him because he's missed the assignment, which I think also can say a lot. Like, if you're, again, technically sound and you read the game well, then there's certainly hope for you with a coach like Jeff Stoutland. I think that's the priority there. Again, a double team. I'm not really interested. Moves up well, but I'm not interested in the double teams. To me, the double teams just don't do it justice. That's not what I'm here to see. I want to see how he handles on his own. He does seem to get banged around a lot. Like, I'm not sure what his injury rate's been like, but he just looks to get, like, there he is being flung around. Like, look, he's being wrestled. And he's holding his own. But he's like bottom heavy. Like, there's no weight up top. It is all just lower body strength. And it is just shaking him around, it looks like, at times. Well, don't do that. Nothing to see on that play. That's going to be another double team one. So this has been a bit underwhelming. Good reach block there. Keep driving. Okay. Good reach block. That is... dodgy catch. We got hold of it. Number 11. That was fun to keep an eye on. Just want to see how he gets hold of this, because that was bobbling around. Yeah, fair enough. Was there anything on that one? Did he play at guard there? Yeah, he did. No, he didn't. It's just a weird offset formation. Okay. Now he's back at centre there. That's good to the second level. It's so weird to. I just want to see him in ISO matchups, which is probably asking too much. But I feel like Boston College have really. They must have hammered in on that. They must have. They must have realised that he needs a little bit of extra support. That was a good rep against number 90. That wasn't anything to worry about. We'll have a look at this next one. But the microphone's in the way of the bloody screen. He's got to stop bobbling them balls. That is twice he's done that now. Good rep again. Yeah, he's getting help, which is fine. But I don't think you can make a clean evaluation on how he is as a player because of it. It's great that Boston College have done that and it's working, but also not the biggest sign of strength. So that was another one. Where was he on that? This is a run play, pretty north-south. Engages. Yeah. Maintains the block, but I think he gets shoved off at the end. Again, look. He doesn't have hands on the player, I don't think. It's got to be really intriguing to see how he turns. Like, this is a sort of player where if he does turn into something crazy, you'll look back at his college film and be like, how has Jeff Stoughton done that? And I don't mean that in like a bad way against Kendall. That was a nice finish, right? So he's mid-block here, gets shoved off by the guard, and he just kind of looks around and goes, all right, have some of this. Bang, see you later. That is, I tell you what, if he doesn't make that tackle, look how much leverage that other guy's gaining really quickly. And meanwhile, the quarterback's not throwing the ball there. He's probably going to get sacked, if not a lot of pressure. And Kendall darts back, bang, knocks the guy on his ass, keeps that throwing lane open, and the ball's a tad overthrown. But in the NFL, that's a completion I'd like to think all day. And that's my favourite play I've seen of him. That was great. That I could watch that another 10 times. Look at that. Guard comes in, says, don't worry, Drew, I got you here, bud. Drew turns around and goes, all right, I'll pay it forward. Bang, see you later. Really, really good play. That's the best thing I've seen him do in the 2 games that we've watched. It's not number 6, the wide receiver, though, so I'm not really asked. Didn't even, hang on, you didn't make an attempt for the ball. Where did it bounce? Mate, it's not that far away. Anyway. See, right, that was better. Right, look at the difference here. Okay, he doesn't get pressure or like anyone to engage with instantly. So because of that, look at how low he is to the ground. Like compared to normal. And like even there, his shoulders and his pads are so low. And he's sat crunched and his hands are up and he is like ready. Whereas I think what happens a lot is as soon as he engages, the power knocks him upright and he ends up just relying on his lower body to keep him in it. But if you look at this, right, look again, wide base, the weight is all forward and he's able to drive that round. Really good rep because he's got time to almost like set his feet, I think. Like if we watch it again, just because I want to see that camera angle, there's no one there, right? And he's able to just stay, like that should be the position he's in. That there should be how he is mid-block. And what happens normally is that he just gets up and under and he's sort of up like that, bent backwards like Neo from the Matrix. If that can be the upside, which is coming out of your stance with your weight forward, I think you see it a lot with centers in college, is that they will come out of their stance and unless it's a run play where they have to drive forward, the immediate thing is to almost like jump back like a tackle. And as a center, you don't have time for that because as soon as you jump back, you just leave your chest open to being clarted and you sort of end up in that weird spot. So I wonder if that is something that Stout has seen and gone, this is fixable. This is coachable. If he's willing to learn, this is absolutely, 100% coachable. Like, I don't think he's that bad when the weight's forward. Like, again, that was pretty forward. Right, let's see, butts in, but gets pushed back and then thrown around. And that's the thing. If he has time to set his feet, which I think is where these like double teams are helping, he seems to be handling stuff much better. Like, I don't think he's given up a sack yet in this game, which is encouraging. You can see the potential, but Stout's talent is to bring out that potential 100%. I think there is definitely potential there. Like, you can see upside in him. It's certainly more visible than it is in Mac McWilliams, I'll put it that way. Know the different positions, but I don't have a clue what happened in Mac McWilliams' tape. I'll level with you. Still can't make any sense of it for love nor money. But this is more encouraging. That was nice as well. Again, because in the run, it's fine because you have to move forward. And because he's all kind of lower powered, he's able to do that pretty well. It's just like, you know, like BMWs typically have like their engines in the back of the car because the manufacturers believe to make something go fast, you push it rather than pull it. That's sort of like Drew Kendall, like all of that. When he's pushing forward, when that engine's turned on, he's great. If you put the engine in the front, it's not a BMW anymore. I think that's his calling card, is that he is a BMW. He's not a Porsche. He's not a Chevy or a big Ford Silverado, whatever the big trucks are. You know, he's just a BMW. And BMWs are great in their respective fields, probably, in annoying other road users. But I think there's upside there. I really like that one rep. That one rep where he comes off and helps his teammate just muller a guy to the ground. Has been. I want to see more of that. So we've got time for one more game. So we'll do one more game of his against Michigan State, and we will see exactly how much upside he has. Like, again, in double teams, he's fine. He's only taken on half the weight, but it's more pass. But pass blocking is a concern. Run blocking, he's fine. That's the takeaway, right? Goal line could be an issue. Thinking about, I say that as they score. I mean, there's a flag on it. I forget. Oh, is he? Oh, he's fallen over. Well, there you go. There's a start. I think goal line could be an issue, just because that is just going to be helmet for helmet. Who's got more power? And I don't think that's going to be Drew Kendall in many instances in the NFL. Well, I put it this way. If it gets to training camp and you've got Drew Kendall versus Jalen Carter in a rep, how is that going to end? The answer is not very well for Drew Kendall. I can probably give you that. Or even worse, Jordan Davis is going to swallow him whole at this point. Now, he might be able to, as we say, improve technically because there is stuff there. And when he is in the right position, he does handle it well. And when he does have support, he handles it quite well. Does let up a sack there. I think that's the first one he's actually let up in this game. But he doesn't move his feet. He kind of freezes a bit there. And I think that if I'm honest, if I'm really honest, it just twigged on me. That's why he keeps getting bent. One of the best things Lane Johnson does is constantly move his feet. Constantly. Just like resetting. My Larter does it as well. But Lane Johnson's footwork is out of this world. And I know it's a different position, but the same basic premise applies. If you're just frozen like that, and all the weight is going against you, the only way you can go is back, unless you reset your foot and can re-leverage your hands and drive forward. Now, he's got the hands bit. I think it's the footwork. I think I've had a bit of a revelation. I might be wrong, but in pass blocking, he just doesn't seem to move that much. And I wonder if that's, you know, one of the causes, or that one, I say causes, one of the things that can absolutely be worked on, you know, at the next level is just, can he maintain? Right, I've seen enough of this. So they're up 28-13. They're not going to do anything. Right. Let us go watch Michigan State in a minute. We'll see that, because I just want to see again, you know, how does it change? Like, how much of this is like game by game? How much of it is a consistent thing? So another game. This is our third Drew Kendall game, which is nice because a lot of players here we don't really tend to get very many games just because college tape is a nightmare to get hold of. So this is the pass. Is this pass or run? Pass rep with some help. Let's off that a little bit. I can't tell if that's him. He's passing that. He's a little bit late, I think. I don't think his base is wide enough on that. Look how narrow he's almost like. I don't know on that one. I'm going to put that on him because you've got to get off that block sooner. I think realistically, if there's a double team, you're only meant to chip and slide, and that just hasn't worked there. That was better. That was better. Okay. Right. So it's not all bad. Oh, excuse me. Well, body clock is still not what it was. I'm getting old now, fellas. All right, I've lost my hair. I'm nearly 30. You have to forgive. I am 30. Make it even worse. You have to forgive the yawning at this late hour that is now 7:30 UK time. But that was okay. Not the best, not the worst. These jerseys are a night. I do not like these jerseys. It just looks like someone's got like a paint roller and just put the numbers on it. Oh, it's the red bandana game. Whatever that means. Don't know. Not familiar with Boston College, traditions. Better when he moves his feet forward, I think, as we re-established on that one. That's good. Again, that's nice because he moves forward. Whenever he's moving forward, he's fine. Whenever he has to drop back and have a pass set on his own, I think is where the issue is. So it's a niche skill set that might be able to be coached into something bigger. I think run blocking, he's normally pretty good. That's a great little Johnny Manziel-esque play there from the quarterback. It didn't really amount to anything, mind, but beggars can't be choosers. Nothing really doing on that. I think I had to actually block anyone on that one. That was okay again because he's just moving forward. Was he even in the game on that one? Or have I lost him or something? Oh, no, he is there. I was going to say I got all confused then for a minute. But the numbers just don't help. That's... Okay, there you go. That is what we haven't seen yet. That's all I've wanted to see for 3 games. On a pull, which is something the Eagles do. They love a pull. They love a pin. All right, they're big on this stuff. How quickly does he move? I need to freeze frame it exactly right. That was good. More of that. And an Eagles offense, that sort of thing, be doing. Ball gets snapped. You're pulling these two here. This one's Kendall. Right. Through there. Head on. Bang. Nice. Did his job. 43 didn't move too much, which I would say, given that the fact he's probably a safety against a center, isn't the best. But, again, it could be worse. What's up, E-Money? Nice to see you, my friend. I hope you're keeping well. Go Birds indeed. Again, that's nice, but it's a double team. I want to see more pulls, more pins. I want to see him in isolated pass coverage because I feel like Boston are doing a genuinely good job at disguising his weakness as any team should. See, right, there we go. We get one. Right. Hone in on this. Hands go underneath. Watch the feet. Just not really resetting that. That's better. He's able to maintain like a level base. There's not a lot of movement, but enough there to constantly just keep his knees bent. Fine. That's better. He's not had his like head taken off, essentially. Like that's a good blocking rep. Can't be mad at that one. I don't know what he's really doing there, to be honest with you. I mean, sorry, I just love his little just the tap he gives this guy here when he realizes it. Yeah, little shove in the back for no reason, and then the quarterback gets sacked. Just go and help him, mate. All right, what could he have done better here? Well, for starters, that I mean, you've just left it. I mean, I don't know because you're not really expecting the quarterback to do, but that's too. That's a difficult one to read. I think as a centre because at that point you think you clean the pocket, but you've got to probably keep it. Like at what point are you looking at his eyes and not thinking that's an issue slightly because you've still not moved. You've still not moved. Now you're looking over here. I don't know. I think that's awareness wise a little bit slow for me. I think that's going to be taken advantage of it at the NFL level. But it could just be one rep. If you've got any thoughts on that one, let me know in the comments because I just realised how low I am on this camera. Sorry about that. I'm just like hunched down at the bottom. Okay, we go. Pull in, pull in, pull in. Open the hole. Oh, no. Okay. It worked, but I don't think that's really his fault. Great rep by the running back to just not get. Oh, okay. All right. If he could catch any better, he might be half decent. That's a start. Oh, no. That was poor. That was poor. I mean, he's got the. It was okay. It just a little bit fumbly and bumbly, but it wasn't terrible. He got the job done. He got the chip that he needed. I like that we're seeing a bit. Oh, that is a terrible. That running back is a liability. Stop throwing in the ball, man. He's had like 18 drops, two. There's another one. Like 2 bobbled catches, a load of misses. Just stop lobbing in the ball. Oh my god, that's another one. That's 3 in a row, mate. Stop throwing it to him. Give it to number 6, wherever he's gone. Jeez, get me as an offensive coordinator. I can't put up with this. See, that was nice by 66, Drew Kendall, right? Just following around, he's there. Because, again, his weight's forward. His shoulders are over his knees. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's just have your shoulders over your knees, stay compact, nice and low to the ground, and let them go higher. And he just really struggles to get that. Is that number 6? There he is. My goat. Look at this. Look. How he's only got 189 yards that year, I don't know. That is like a mini Devontae Smith. And I'm not just saying it because he's number 6. There he is. Jaden Skeet. He's been flagged for something. Don't know what for. Can't hear the ref because of copyright issues. Add him to your watch list whenever he comes out of college. Jaden Skeet. He's going to be... Remember this day. Jaden Skeet. That's my biggest takeaway, which is probably not a good takeaway if we're watching an Eagles player, is to say, hey, this wide receiver in a totally unrelated position is going to be good. That was a good rep, though. We go back here. Get us up to the second level. Nice and lovely, yeah. That's kind of all you can ask of him there. It's so... There you go. That's better. That's better. At the goal line. Get off your defensive tackle with some help from a teammate. Second level block. You had the hole. Like that's his job was done there. That was good. That they fumbled it. That running back is absolutely dreadful. Oh, that is a swarm. Oh my god, that's terrifying. It's like a swarm of wasps. That is. Oh, I don't like that. What happened to Kendall on that? Oh, he's on the floor. Kendall's on the floor. Well, that will do it on 4th and goal. Only 3 points down. Right, big drive. I'm predicting a Jaden Skeet touchdown. That was good. That was, I think, good. We'll watch it again. Pulls, picks up his block. Lovely. Done his job. Everyone else didn't. Shock. That was good. He's all right, number 11. I don't mind him. He's not quite number 6. Not quite Jaden Skeet. But, you know. Give it to number 6. Where is he? That's a good rep. Don't mind that. Pulls outside again. I mean, it was a little bit I thought he made more contact than that, but you have to choose between two players, so he keeps the space in. The difficulty is really if you are playing that kind of like triple option or like the flip to come back across the line of scrimmage, you ideally need to get that first player because you don't really care about the second one. Like if you're this guy, you don't really care about this guy because he's just not an issue for you. That's the one you worry about. And I think Kendall spent a little bit too much time trying to leverage the first guy out. Whereas if he'd have put all his, wrap that arm around and maybe just got a little bit of a chip on him, might have made it a bit better. Obviously, the play didn't go that way, but it's not the point, really. It's more just the leveraging of it. See, right, that's the issue. That, there, right? That's the footwork I'm talking about. It hasn't shown all game because most pass rushing reps we've seen, he's been in ISO matchups. Right? It's just this. It's just this. With the footwork not really doing too much, right? You get a good view of it there where he gets bent up over him and he just can't get the feet back round to like push forward. He's kind of bent, like the knees are just not unhinged in like that way, but they're just locked out straight and he can't do anything. Like that's the one. Oh, hello, number 11. Oh, the mind game's there. Oh, now we get that. So that's the end of that. Yeah, I agree with that. The heart there is that the heart is there, the nasty's there, the hand placement seems adjusted, leverage and footwork is a must. That's my takeaway. I agree with, you're not going to be able to win every matchup against 6'7" guys and 300-pound guys and that sort of thing. But I think it's something to do with like the compactness of him. Like he just ends up a little bit like, okay. So a good comparison would be Jordan Mailata's first season with the Eagles in the preseason, where he would have these like massive wide open strides and he'd be unable to get low. And he would be the same thing. He'd be getting rocked up here. And they ended up coaching him unbelievably well to where now it's, shoulders over knees, the hands are level, and he's able to feel his way around. And that's kind of what I'm seeing in Kendall. Like there's been a couple of plays, like that one play against Florida State where he peels off one block and just slams the guy into the ground. Really, really good. I think technically it's okay because a lot of it is being masked by his teammates. And the footwork is going to be the key. And that's what Jeff Stoutland does well. Again, Mailata's footwork is now brilliant. Kelsey was arguably the best of all time. Lane Johnson is a god at it. Landon Dickerson's has been phenomenal as well. You're in an offensive line group where it's just a big group of dancing bears. Like you are essentially doing ballet for Jeff Stoutland every day because they're going to coach that out of you. And I think that's a good spot for him. I really think that's a good spot for him. Like you're just going to end up, I mean, not really ballet classes, but maybe they do. Maybe it would explain a lot. Maybe they do. And put it this way, Jordan Mailata can do literally everything on earth. So I wouldn't be surprised if he could randomly just do a plie or something like that. But yeah, I think if they can get Drew Kendall's footwork up to scratch, if they can make sure that he's just able to maintain that lower leverage, keep a wide base, and just stay light on his feet and not plant his heels. I think if you plant the heels, you're just asking for trouble, and that seems to be what we're seeing with him, But I think the upside is that it's very clear what he needs to work on. It's very clear what he's currently good at and what he's currently weak at. Run blocking, anything where his weight is forward, anytime he's got a little bit of help and he can let that nasty out. If he's daredevil, you let the devil out. I think he's solid and he's got upside. Anything where it's an ISO matchup, where it's 1v1, where he's going to get rocked back and that top half's going to go and you're stuck on your back foot and you can't get your weight off your heels, that's where I think he's gonna struggle. But yeah, I think that's just about it from Drew Kendall. So big week of PSN streams. We've got obviously this one tonight. There'll be a Flyers stream tomorrow, breaking down, of course, the signing or the trading of Trevor Zergas and the upcoming NHL draft. We're going to have some NHL draft coverage on Friday. We're going to have some Sixers draft. I'm getting confused now. Sixers draft coverage on Wednesday. Flipping the birds tomorrow night as well. There should be a Phillies stream on Friday. We're stacking the shelf. So plenty of PSN content coming your way, and there may even be another Eagles film room on the Wednesday as well, depending on how much content we've actually got, because we can't do more than 3 a day. So we'll see, but there should be another one, which I believe takes us to... Have a look. Who was drafted after this? I'm not actually sure. I don't want the history. Just give me... Oh, I see. I've searched classes. I feel like it... I was going to say Carl McCord or Miles Hinton. I think Miles Hinton I'm more intrigued about. I mean, both of these tackles, Cameron Williams and Miles Hinton, I think both of them bring different specialties to the table. And I think it's good. The fact they took 2 stands out to me. So there must be a reason for that. So excited to dive into that. But Kyle McCord, Syracuse, is our next film room. We're going to see a little bit about what Kyle can do. I know that he had a lot of love coming out of the NFL draft. So we'll see what all that was about. But yeah, that's it for another Eagles rookie film breakdown. I hope you've all enjoyed it. On the way out on the stream, as always, if you guys could leave a like on your way out, that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you again for spending the best part of an hour with me, listening to me ramble about a big dancing bear. And I hope to see you again very soon. So until next time, go Birds. Enjoy the Club World Cup if you've gone to any of the games at the link. And I'll see you soon.